2 News begins right now with breaking news.
And all of a sudden I look over and the windows of the store that I'm getting ready to go in are shaking like crazy. And so is my car. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, my knees were sitting on the desk and I felt my knees started shaking. I was like, whoa, what's that?
You know, everything starts kind of rattling around. And of course, my first thought is, great, I'm going to have to pick all this up.
Yeah, a whole lot of shaking going on. A big earthquake rattled Green Country late this afternoon. Happened at 3:40 near the little town of Conway Springs, Kansas. I'm 2 News anchor Russ McCaskey. I'm here in our weather center with our chief meteorologist, Brett Anthony. Brett, getting a lot of calls from people who felt it. I felt it in the newsroom. What about you? Did you feel it in here?
Sitting here in the studio, and the studio lights started rattling. I wondered if they'd fall. And then the floor started shaking. I knew instantly that we had an earthquake. Let's take a look at where some of the details about this earthquake. About 106 miles to the northwest of Tulsa is the epicenter of this small quake near Ryan, Kansas. Now, Conway Springs getting a lot of the publicity in Wellington, but it's really centered very close to Ryan, Kansas. It was a 4.8, which is a pretty strong earthquake for this part of the country, and one of 6 since yesterday. And if we widen things out even farther, Russ, it was felt as far away as southern Nebraska and Texas, 6 states, including Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas.
Yeah, a lot of people felt this one. We have the mayor of Conway Springs, Kansas, on the phone with us. Dee, can you hear us?
I can.
Great. Tell us a little bit about what it felt from where you are, because this is right by where you are.
It certainly was a lot of shaking, without a doubt.
So what are people there saying in the town? Were dishes knocked off, anything like that, or just feeling shaking and lights moving, things like that?
The lights moving, shaky, not much damage, no structural damage that we can see so far at all. Just a very, very tense moment.
Mayor, this is Brett Anthony here, chief meteorologist at KJRH. I'm just wondering, have you had or felt anything like this in the past with the recent quakes in that area? Have you felt anything this strong?
Not whatsoever. This, by large, was the most dramatic one that has been in the area for, since I can remember.
All right, Dee Pettigrew, thank you so much for talking with us again. He's the mayor of Conway Springs. That's the closest town to where this thing happened. And really, this was, everybody's talking about this. So many people felt it.
Oh, yeah, Twitter just blew up with everyone saying, I felt it here, I felt it there. You know, it's just amazing how many people and how widespread this was felt.
No doubt about it. Going in depth now with more information. According to the USGS, the latest earthquake in Oklahoma, the largest earthquake in Oklahoma history was a 5.6. That was November 6th of 2011. Now, due to the large number of earthquakes, Oklahoma has created a commission to study them. It includes representatives from the Corporation Commission, the Geological Survey, the Governor's Office, and other researchers. Specifically, they're looking at nearly 4,000 saltwater disposal wells and whether or not they're playing a role in causing these earthquakes. So how strong is a 4.8 magnitude earthquake? Generally, quakes in Oklahoma are magnitude 3 or lower, most of the time unnoticeable. Today's quake was 63 times bigger, but when it comes to how powerful, it's 501 times stronger than a 3.0, and that's why so many people felt it in such a large range. The depth of the quake also makes a difference in some of the shaking. We have put a pretty cool interactive magnitude calculator inside this story that we posted on our website on KJRH.com, so go to our website and check that out. Now, as soon as we felt the quake shake our studios here in Brookside, we posted to our Facebook page, which instantly blew up with reports from viewers, hundreds of you writing in. One woman in Skytook saying that the quake shook her dishes, another saying that it shook her entire apartment in Midtown Tulsa, another quote that she wrote that she moved from California to get away from all of this. And on top of the earthquake, you know what? It's also freezing outside. We have live team coverage of the cold weather coming up. First, though, want to check in with 2 News anchor Karen Larson with some breaking news. Karen?
Well, Russ, a kindergartner's in the hospital right now with some serious injuries. Emergency workers tell us the Penn Elementary School student was hit by a car. It happened outside Tulsa's Trace Academy. We've got some video there for you to see right now. We are told that the little girl was sitting in the grass waiting for the bus when the car ran over her legs. 2 News has a crew headed to the scene, and we will certainly bring you a live update just as soon as we get more information.
All right, Karen, thanks.
All right, weather-wise, we're talking about some very cold air. In fact, we're going to get a reinforcing shot of cold air continuing to spill in here tonight. So the stronger shot of cold air arrives today. And then as we head into the weekend, take a look at this. New data suggests that we could have an increasing snow chance on Sunday, maybe some accumulation. I'll share more details with you on that in just a few minutes. But it's 31 in Tulsa, 31 in Pryor. We have not even made it up to the freezing mark. We did briefly earlier this afternoon, but now we're back down below the freezing mark. 31 at Muskogee and 32 at McAllister. It feels like when you factor in the winds, like 20 in Tulsa, 22 at Okemah. Feels like it's 16 at Ponca City and 19 at Coffeyville. And so if you're getting the kids dinner, and right now, just think about getting ready for tomorrow morning, they'll need the winter coats and hats and gloves. The wind chill value tomorrow morning at the bus stops, 15, even though the air temperature will be around 25 at 8 a.m. Coming up, we'll talk about the weekend snow chance. We'll also look ahead into the 7-day forecast and see if we can get any kind of a thaw from this deep freeze that we are stuck in.
Definitely need the big coat outdoors. Brett, thanks. Our team coverage continues now with an update to a story that we first brought you on 2 News this morning. 2 News anchor Stephen Romo live with how the city of Tulsa is planning for an expected spike in water main breaks. Stephen?
Yeah, Russ, I was talking with the city just a little while ago. They're saying, while there weren't a lot of water main breaks today, this is just the beginning. The one that happened this morning here at 38th and Sheridan caused this daycare to shut down and forced a lot of parents to come up with some last-minute plans. You may not like the freezing weather we're seeing in green country, but our pipes definitely don't. This water main break early this morning in Midtown shut down the ABC Academy daycare.
We can't have children in the building with no water.
City crews say get ready for more.
Basically, the rule of thumb is when it's the hottest, we're busy, and when it's the coldest, we're busy.
Blaine Parnell with the city's utility department says it's something Tulsa deals with along with cities all over, and it all comes down to physics.
You have liquids, forming to a solid, and everything seems to go a little more slower.
We see these breaks increase in the summer months as well, but the city says the cold creates a unique set of problems. The ice can slick the roadways like a freezing rain. And with the official start of winter still weeks away, these line breaks are likely just beginning. City crews say about all they can do is get equipment and supplies ready and wait for a break.
We prepare for it as much as we can, but there's always an unknown out there when it gets cold.
Now, the daycare will be open tomorrow, and the city says the breaks reported today have been repaired, and they do have crews on standby in case more breaks pop up overnight. Reporting live, Stephen Romo, 2 News works for you.
Yeah, you feel for those crews that are out there working in this cold weather. You can be ready for whatever comes your way with our Storm Shield weather app. Works just like a weather radio, bringing you up-to-the-minute information. Storm Shield is available for download for Apple and Android devices. Claremore firefighters rescued a man from an overnight house fire. The fire marshal tells us that a worn-out extension cord caught several boxes on fire, which trapped a disabled man in his 50s inside his home. Another person inside the house escaped and was treated by paramedics at the scene. No word about the damage caused to that home. New at 5, Bank of Oklahoma announcing it'll soon close its grocery store branches. In the Tulsa metro area, 10 locations will be impacted, most in resource stores. In all, 29 closures will take place throughout Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. A spokesperson says 75 employees will be displaced, but most will be placed in other positions within BOK. Coming up on 2 News at 6, the reason for the closures and when the branches will be shutting down. All right, 2 News anchor Karen Larson working for you right now with the traffic alert. Karen, how's it looking out there on this cold drive home?
Well, it's actually looking pretty good right now, Russ. If you take a look around the Tulsa metro area, all that green means traffic is moving at a normal pace. We do have a little bit of a slowdown here. And the triangles that you're seeing, just 3 as compared to 8 traffic accidents that we reported last night. For a complete look at your daily commute, catch up with 2 News Today each weekday morning from 5 to 7.
All right, Karen, thanks. New at 5, celebrating an historic first in outer space.
So we are sitting on the surface. Phila is talking to us. More data to come.
A crowd cheered as the European Space Agency announced it had landed a spacecraft on the surface of a comet. It's the highlight of a decade-long mission to study comets and learn more about their origins.
We're going to see a lot of new things just by watching and tagging along with the comet that we wouldn't ever see before.
The orbiter will stay attached to the comet for the next year. Scientists hope that by studying the organic compounds it carries, they can learn more about how life on Earth began. Well, right here, kids at home witnessed the landing. The Tulsa Air and Space Museum welcomed about 100 students into their dome to see the historic moment. Educators at the museum say that comets are still mysterious, and live streaming pictures is a chance to see what's on their surface. More live pictures should be coming soon from the Rosetta spacecraft, and you can also see those again tomorrow at the museum. Well, a live report from the scene of a serious crash at an elementary school. That's straight ahead. Plus, our team's still gathering the very latest on that big earthquake that we told you about from the top of the newscast. Plus, tired of paying way too much money to heat your home? 2 News working for you tonight with simple and cheap ways to keep that winter heat bill down. All right, now let's head over to Brett.
All right, Russ, not even winter yet, but winter kind of giving us a 1-2 punch. The cold air here now, the possibility of some snow over the weekend will go down over the forecast. Coming down up on 2 News here at 5.